What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, another podcast. We are walking on the beach of San Diego in California, and we were just walking like, we need to talk about how important having the right team to run the systems in your business is for you to be able to unlock your level of freedom as a healthcare business owner. So important. And that's literally what allows us to be able to earn income while we're not physically in the business, and allowing our team to bring in the results that's needed due to the systems.
Absolutely. You are a master at this too. Like, you are such a master at leadership, and I know that your history in sports and football has given you such great core foundational cornerstones to this. But I will say for myself and I know a lot of people that when we're coaching, when we're talking to other doctors, other healthcare professionals, one of the biggest stuff that comes up is team. Like, because the wrong who's or the wrong team in can be a nightmare. It can feel like there's constantly friction in your business. It can feel like all you're doing is managing or putting out fires. It can feel that like anything that you were doing that felt so easy and flow, as soon as you stepped away from it, it became a dumpster fire. And then you can almost get to this situation like, and you guys might feel this already, that I am speaking some from experience, because I made the epic mistake of really wanting to be liked and being in a space where I'm like, I just want to be nice to everyone. I want everyone to like me. I want to please everyone. I don't want to tell people when things weren't met or when they're doing it wrong, or I just want to like lift them up and always be the type of person that people feel and get better around. But the reality is I am that type of person, but that takes me also being the type of person that is direct, that is able to communicate, that has structure to my meetings, that has expectations, that calls people out when there is a lack of respect or communication or thing met, and does it in a way that is like loving and kind, but also extremely truthful and direct. And then who also holds the line of like, hey, if I don't feel supported in my own business, or if it isn't supporting the goals that I have, that my mission, my team, my company has, that I'm also the type of person that makes decisions around making sure that that culture stays upheld at the expense of that being the greatest thing, is like the growth of all versus being succumbing to like just trying to please one person.
Yes. One of the biggest things that I noticed from all of the people that we coach and people that talk about they're having struggles with their team, it's simply not being direct with your team on what you need. And it literally starts with the hiring process. There should be, like, when you hire a team member, you're hiring your team to help you what you need. The role cannot change. You know what I mean? The role cannot change. So many people are changing the role due to the person that they have in that seat, but rather the person in the seat needs to change for the role, if anything.
Yes.
So it needs to be that way. If it's anything other than that, you will in the future, whether that's a month later, 6 months later, a year later, have issues with that team member because you weren't direct with them at the beginning of this is the role. I tell my team every single day, we need this done. I can't change this role for what you need if you weren't able in the nicest, politest, HRE type of way, you can't have the results of this role. This position is not for you. We can find something else for you in the company, or you can find somewhere that fits you better. So when you're that direct with your team, they have no confusion on what the results is that you need. But so many people have their team confused because they're not being direct on what they need. And then also, your team is there to help you. We tell our team all the time, especially our executive assistants, like, your job is to manage us. Our job is not to manage you. Their job is to manage the systems that we put in place of them, right? But so many people don't even have the foundation of systems for their team to run. So that's why they're running around like a chicken with their head cut off, and you're wondering why your team's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Guess what? They don't know what they're supposed to be doing. They're guessing. So you need to set up systems that then you can hire, or you can hire a team to run those systems, and those systems work independent no matter who that team member is. And that's why I said at the beginning of my talk is like, making that person fit the role, not the role fit the person. Because you have to build a system, which is AKA the role, and then hire anyone to run that role in that system. Now, if that person decides to quit, decides to leave, now you don't have any special snowflakes in your company, but rather you have special systems, that IP that you own, that anyone in the world can come in and just carry out.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is like, these core leadership things, they aren't taught in grad school. they aren't even taught in a lot of like business or learning business systems or things like that. But they're essential for allowing you to, like, you are not a bad person. You are a good person, and your frustration with your
valid.
team is very, very valid. And your frustration, like, I think a lot of times we take it all internally, like, am I a bad person? Am I a bad leader? Am I this? Am I that? When in reality, like, you just don't have the skill set yet. It's just a skill set. You don't have the skill set to speak directly, to have really clear expectations of people, and to have really loving, direct communication with them. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned from you and implemented is at that first sign, that first feeling, that first text that comes through with like a thumbs up, and you're like, ooh,
No. Heck no.
that felt
I need
bad.
some enthusiasm.
Like, but I know they're going through this, I know this is going on, and blah, blah, blah. No, cancel. Like, as soon as that comes up, you say, hey, did that make sense to you? When you put a thumbs up to that, it made me feel like you're not all in on that. It felt like a little bit like nonchalant, disrespectful,
Yes.
or this is how it made, like,
Yes.
this is how I took it. I want to over communicate, because if you don't understand how important it is for these reports to be done, it literally affects the whole company. And I'm not okay with like not over communicating. Boom, that team member's back. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry if it came across that way. No, I totally understand. I kind of was like just thinking about XYZ. Guess what happens? You feel better. They feel better. You also start to build a foundation of thick trust that you are going to tell them when they're not doing something properly, and that they are going to give you feedback when they don't understand something properly. Now you can actually grow and go together. Otherwise, they are lost, you feel disrespected, and now you just build on a rocky foundation until it breaks, because it will. And I
Yes.
guarantee that the break will be way worse than you nipping all of the things in the bud along the way.
Guys, and we literally have enough people against us in the world. We have enough resistance to what it is we're trying to do with our business
Yeah.
and us. Look at us. We're on the beach right now filming content. People walking by. We probably look very crazy to other people. But who we can't look crazy to is our team. Like, if our team aren't 100% our cheerleaders, like 120%, we're literally paying you to be our cheerleader. I remember I hired my first person. I was like, wait, I'm literally paying him to have to listen to me about all of my business ideas because my classmates don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
My parents may not want to hear it all the time. None of my close friends, they're doing other things that I don't want to hear all the time. So I'm like, oh, I'm literally paying my team. You have to listen to what we're doing. And one thing that I require, I don't want any Judases on my team who are against me, secretly on my team, secretly against me, and hating. I need people like, even our camera guy, when he's filming us, he's literally behind the camera shaking his head. He's like, that was fire, you guys are amazing. Like, we need people pouring in positive stuff into us. Same with like boxers like Floyd Mayweather, all these amazing people, Muhammad Ali. Guess what? In their training camps, people wonder why they have all those people in the gym. They're simply saying like, you're the best, you're the greatest, you're gonna knock them out, you're gonna win. Constantly pouring that to their head. Imagine if it was the opposite and they had people that were on their team sitting there scrolling on their phone, not paying attention and saying, yeah, you might win, I don't know. You don't need those people in your camp. Your team is your camp. Guess what? We have enough people who are against us. We have enough opponents. That's like rowing a boat. We learned this a lot in football. You rowing a boat, you're all going the same way. You're already going against the waves. You're going against the wind. You're going against all of this stuff, the weight of the boat. And you have one person in the back who's literally turned the opposite way and rowing against the team. It's like, I don't need you on the team. You literally hold us back. We have all this other stuff that's already so hard to get through with the wind, the waves, the weight, all this other stuff. And now you're in the business. That's like having mold grow in your house. Like, what?
Yeah.
You can't be on the team if you're rowing against us.
Mic drop. Like, so many feels to that.
So good.
Like, so good.
So if you're building a team, make sure you're building the team around what it is that you need. You cannot, again, change what you need on the team, change who you need to hire based on the person. You have to hire the person for the role that you need in the business, and they should be way better at it than you, and they should be like excited waking up with that role, because if not, they shouldn't be on your team.
Yeah, and I feel like, I hope you guys like really feel that like are different, how we complement each other, because I've been in that situation. Like, I've been in a situation where everyone around me was like, wow, there is a ton of resistance coming from this in your own house. And I'm like, no. And I made all the excuses in the world because multiple reasons, guys. person was an amazing doctor. I like this person. They were a huge piece of my business, like a huge piece of my business. And I knew how hard it was going to be to fix this thing, but it doesn't matter. I know it's hard, but like it's not, you can never, ever, ever have it the hard, not do the hard at the expense of you losing what he's talking about.
Yes.
Support and people like in your own house, like supporting you, because guess what happens? Rocket fuel, that parachute's off. Then you're surrounded by people that speak life into you, that believe in you. You're surrounded by a team that is like there no matter what. You're surrounded by like now you 10x. Now, and sometimes you might have to go back, clean it up a little, and launch forward.
So the biggest thing too, the conclusion is like, you have to become a better leader.
Yeah.
First of all, you can't lead your team if you can't lead yourself. So number one is like, you have to become a better leader of self through your fitness, wellness, your mindset, spiritually. All of that first before you can show up as a leader, because guess what? If you don't have those in order and you show up to your team, they may laugh at you. I like the context of this in football. We had like coaches or GAs. I'm like, have you ever been to the gym? The team would literally laugh about them behind their back. But the coaches that we respected, they've done it before. They can lead themselves clearly by looking at them, by the way they move. And then that gives us the foundation to be able to trust what they say and do what they say. But so many business owners out there, healthcare business owners, are simply not leading themselves, and that literally deters you from being able to lead your team as well. So if you want to become a better leader, we see so much of this missing. Like being a best leader allows us to go to San Diego for a month and our business not take 0 steps back. Our business took 0 steps back with us being gone because of the leaders that we are and the systems that we set in place for our team to run. So if you want to become a better leader so your business can like eventually run autonomously without you, and you're able to have the freedom that you want, you better have the results through your team that you want, message us on Instagram. If you're watching on podcast, just type in podcast mastermind. And then if you're watching on YouTube, just type in YouTube mastermind, DM us those words, YouTube mastermind or podcast mastermind, and we'll get back to you, see if you're a good fit to coach with us in our program.
Yeah, you guys are not alone. You got this.
Let's go. We'll catch you in the next podcast. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like all the fancy stuff that you do and all this stuff. Peace out.
Bye guys.